Ariel Helwani here for mmarated.com at the American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose, and I'm standing next to the owner of the gym, Mr. Javier Medez. And Javier, your gym's name is very much in the news these days, obviously with everything that's gone down between the UFC and AKA John Fitch recently getting released, as well as Christian Welch. First off, I want to start at the top because Dana said that this is not about the video game. This is about a long-standing issue that he's had with the gym. Is this the first time you hear of such an issue?
Well, for me with the gym, yes. I've never spoken to Dana, so if there's an issue with my gym and me personally, then I would like to hear about it. But Bob Cook and Dwayne Zinkin deal for AKA fighters, so if the issue's there, it would be with them, but not me as the gym owner and the head trainer of AKA. No. I've never dealt with any business dealings with anybody from the UFC or anybody, for that matter, when it comes to my fighters fighting.
All right, and how did you find out about all this? The rest of the world found out late last night, but you yourself, when did you know that this was all going down?
Yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, yesterday. Bob is great at let you know beforehand. In other words, last minute Bob. I mean, Bob's always been notorious for letting us know last minute things. So I found out yesterday, and I found out that John Fitch was released, Christian Welch was released. Yeah, I found that. You know, and Mike Swick decided that he was coming on board, which is no issue with me. I mean, I'm just the coach of the guys. Whatever decisions they make, I support it 100%. You know, my job is to take care of my guys as a trainer, and that's what I do.
Yeah, we just saw you addressing the troops, very spirited. You saying that you guys are a team. You're one. The issue with Mike Swick that you just brought up, do you fear that could divide things right now?
Yeah, and that's why I made the talk, because I wanted to be perfectly clear that I support Mike Swick's decision. I support Koscheck 100%. I support John Fitch 100%. I support all my fighters and their decisions on their careers. My job is to train them mentally, properly, get them ready for a competition. My job is not to tell them how to live their lives or how they make their decisions. No, that's not my job. That's their job.
Are you concerned at all about the future of the gym? Just because if you're sort of blacklisted by the UFC, and obviously they are the top dog, they are the top organization in MMA, that it'll be hard to get guys the best fights and ultimately get them the most money out there?
It's definitely a concern. The UFC is definitely a great organization, and I don't want my fighters not fighting for them. I want all my fighters fighting for the UFC, Strikeforce, all their other organizations that are able to support them and their families. That's what these fighters do. They have a dream, they have a goal, and my job is to try to get them to that dream and that goal. And whether it be the greatest organization, which is the UFC, or other organizations that are up and coming, like the Strikeforce or a Japan organization, or any new organization that's coming up. My job is to make sure my fighters are taken care of in whatever organization. And it just so happens the UFC is number one, and they're a great organization. They have their issues, but you know what? They're not mine. They're not mine.
Ultimately, do you think cooler heads will prevail? Do you think this will all boil over and everything will be worked out? Fitch will be let back in, or do you fear the worst in this situation and it might be a while before we ever see him back in the octagon?
I feel that whatever decision is to be made, I'm hoping it's back in good graces with everybody, every organization, especially the UFC, being that they're the number one paying organization. Definitely I want to be back, my guys to be back in there. I don't want any issues with them. I want it to be, cordial and understand that it's not AKA against UFC. I'm with my fighters. Hey, Swick signed with them. I'm not against Swick going over there. If Koss didn't, I'm not against that. I'm for both of my guys. So whatever my guys decide, I'm going to be there with them. It doesn't matter. And it could be another organization next time around. I'm still going to support my guys, and we're still going to stay as a team, because that's what we are. We're a team. And in order for us to continue to thrive and produce great fighters, which is what we have a line of great fighters coming up, we need to stay as a team.
And finally, as far as you understand, guys like Josh Koscheck that have one fight left, Cain Velasquez, is this one and done for them, or that's what we've heard, that the UFC is gonna honor that last fight, but after that they might not be re-signed? Is that what you've heard as well?
I really haven't heard that, so I don't really know. But I'll tell you my personal beliefs. I've trained some great fighters. I believe in BJ Penn, that I had him first. At Frank Shamrock, I have Kung Lee, and and I got to tell you, Cain Velasquez is beyond a doubt the world's greatest fighter to come that no one knows about. So whoever gets Cain Velasquez is going to be in a big money pot with him. And so for me, I would hope it's the UFC. Because they produce more, they have the most marketability, and for someone as great as Kane's gonna be, it's the best place. Josh Koscheck, he's in a situation where he made a great home with them, and I would hope that he can stay with them too, But if they choose not to, on the business, the fighters themselves or the UFC chooses not to, then I can't do anything about it. All I can do is make sure that my fighters are prepared, mentally and physically, and they have all their game plans intact. And like I tell you, and I say it again, and you're going to hear this again 3 years from now that I said this, Cain Velasquez is going to be the greatest thing.
All right, Javier, thanks for the time and best of luck to you.
Okay, thank you.